الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا عليكم أنفسكم لا يضركم من ضل إذا اهتديتم إلى الله مرجعكم جميعا فينبئكم بما كنتم تعملون صدق الله مولانا العظيم. All praise belongs to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who has given us the opportunity to come to His house. We ask Allah to accept our ibadah and forgive our shortcomings. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. This is the call of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala towards the believers. From the beginning of the Quran, this is number 42. Surah Maida, ayah number 105. Allah Azza wa Jal addresses the believers and says, O believers, عليكم أنفسكم لا يضركم من ضل إذا اهتديتم. Be accountable of yourself and practice what you're supposed to do for yourself. As long as you do that, those who will deviate from the path, their deviance will not harm you in any way. And to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the return of every action, and He will inform you what you have done in this dunya. In this ayah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala addressing a believer, every believer, and He is telling them that there is certain thing that you need to worry about in your life. The thing that you should worry about, because a lot of times we talk about that people are misguided, or people are not on the guidance. But whereas Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says to the believers, alaykum anfusakum, worry about your guidance. What if you have put yourself on the path of guidance or not? Instead of worrying about others, worry about yourself. If you have figured this part out, then of course the disobedience of another individual is not going to affect you. If someone does wrong, it will be that Allah will protect you from that evil and from the plans of that evil. Right? And that's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His promise is. That Allah is with those who are living their life according to the orders of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now a person might ask that if I am guided and another person is not guided, I just have to worry about myself and forget about him. This is not what the message of the ayah is. As Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu anhu, people used to use this ayah to stop people from conveying the good to others and stopping them from evil. Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu anhu said that you are misinterpreting the ayah, you are misunderstanding the ayah. The ayah means that part of your obedience to Allah and worrying about yourself is the order of Allah to enjoin good and forbid from evil. Because that's the portion that will complete your faith. And your faith cannot be completed. If your faith is not complete, then you still have to worry about making it complete. So there are two components to the faith of an individual. It is his inner soul and then his outer environment. The inner soul is what? Obedience to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and knowledge and action eliminate the portion of responsibility towards the inner soul of an individual. And on the other side is the environment. And this is the action of forbidding from evil and commanding towards good eliminates evil from outside. So eliminate evil from inside by practicing, by learning what you need to do and do it the right way. And eliminating evil from the environment is to do the act of, when a person worries about himself, then he also worries that if I will tell other people not to do this, or this is something that is wrong, then what kind of hypocrite I am that if I'm doing it and telling others not to do it. So your action, your mindset will automatically give you this understanding that if I'm telling someone to do something good, I should be doing it myself. And if I am telling someone not to do something because it's evil, I should refrain from it myself. So this ayah gives a responsibility to the believers that when you want to rectify anything, start from yourself. As there is a proverb in English, that yesterday I was clever, yesterday I was smart, so I wanted to change everyone else. And today I became clever, so I start from myself. That a clever person is the one who worries about his own self. Al-kayyisu man dana nafsa, as the Prophet ﷺ describes in the hadith. That intelligent individual is the one who worries about his nafs. Alaykum anfusakum, same thing. He worries about where his action is going. So Allah says, if you figure this portion out, your effectiveness towards the other portion will become solid. So Sahaba, when they used to tell people that be good or do this and don't do this, they didn't have a list that you should stop doing this, stop doing this, stop doing this, and do this, do this, do this. No. They just had one example, and that is kunu mithlana, become like us. Become like us, and that's it. This is what Islam is. And that is a responsibility of every believer, that he or she needs to look into their life and say that, can I tell someone else become like me? Is my iman, my a'mal, my dedication to Allah, my rectification of myself, my connection with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the power of my salah, the power of my fasting, the power of my zakah, is it strong enough that I can actually tell someone that do exactly what I am doing? So that's the example that Rasul alayhi salatu wasalam has said. Allah says in this ayah, and that's why the explanation is by the greatest companion of the Prophet ﷺ, and that is Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radiyallahu anhu. That part of worrying about yourself, it's also promoting that is good and stopping from what is that evil, so that Allah Azza wa Jal saves and protects your faith, because the outer portion needs to be worked upon as the inner portion needs to be worked upon. We ask the Almighty Allah to grant us the understanding. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the ability to fulfill this command that Allah Azza wa Jal has addressed the believers to fulfill. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. Inshallah, after the sunnah, we will have our weekly tafsir.